Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. We'll continue our discussion, study of the book of Matthew, chapter 13 today. Captioned Parables of the Kingdom. Let me start a little before we get into that. Just occurred to me that you could see a wheelchair behind me. I was confined to that chair for several years. Well, 3, something like that. Not really expected to ever walk again. I'd broken my back and many other bones. But now I don't need the wheelchair. I keep it to remind me. For one thing, it's comfortable. I do like to sit in it, but other than that, it reminds me of God's love, mercy. Yes, I was injured and broken and crippled for the longest time, but He also nurtured me completely back to health despite the medical professionals' prognoses. You may notice I have a bit of a speech impediment and some other problems like the broken nose. Very small price to pay for the solidification of my faith that resulted from this accident, in which nobody else was hurt, mind you. It wasn't a DUI type situation. It was just a freak thing. It might have been a seizure I'd had, or it might have been pure exhaustion from working and going to school too much. But whatever the case was, I just wanted to preface today's chapter with that little bit of information. And yes, I am smoking while studying the Bible. Kind of making the point that I am not without sin. I am not better than anybody. I don't condone smoking, but I do it, and I don't hide it. But anyway, Matthew 13 is captioned in my King James Version app, which I read from as is my wont. Verse 1. The same day when Jesus went out of the house and sat by the seaside, and great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. Caption, the sower. Sowing as in sowing seeds. Verse 3. And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow, and when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls being like birds, came and devoured them up. Some fell upon stony places where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth. And when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. But others fell into good ground, and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, and it kind of sounds weird to say it that way, some 800-fold we would often say in America, or at least down here in Alabama. Some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear. Verse 10. And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away even that he hath. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled the proper prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, By hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross, not to insult your intelligence, but when something waxes, it increases. A waxing moon is the moon becoming full. A waning moon is a moon that's becoming new moon, or blank moon, whatever you want to call it. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed. I also want to hit on the word gross. Gross, I'm not certain in this context it means disgusting, but like on our paychecks, our gross pay is different than the net pay. So for this people's heart is waxed gross, I'm thinking it means that it's waxed entirely, waxed fully, waxed to the max. And therefore, continuing on, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. 16. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. 18. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom, and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one, and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which received seed by the wayside. But he that received the seed into stony places, the same as he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it. Yet hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. Now, there's a lot of parable and metaphor here. Going back to the seeds, in particular, the seed that is sown and thrown into the stony places. He's referring to people that are fair weather Christians. It's easy to be a good person when being a good person is easy. I know that's a redundant statement, but you know, hard times are what proves a man's character. And that's the metaphor of the seed that needs a good place to grow root, to root deep into the heart. We've all encountered Christians that have easy lives, and they attend church and tithe regularly, pay their tithes, they do their good deeds and all that, which is great. I'm not knocking that stuff. But, and I can name a few examples, and I'm not going to, it'd be very unfair and slanderous. I've known people that were Christian, but once hard times came about, they rejected their faith. And, this was taken from me. God must either not exist, or he must hate me, or something to that effect. And their faith was not rooted deep. It was just growing in a stony place where it was easy to grow when the conditions were right, but once it got a little tough, it ran out of soil to grow a root in, it fell away, it withered and died. Continuing on, I believe we were at verse 22. He also that received seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful. Well, there again, people that at face value, they have no problem being Christian or believing the word, but yet they become corrupted by money, pleasures, the fleshly things and the materialistic things of the world that can overtake you if your faith is not rooted deep. But he that received seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit and bringeth forth some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. Okay? And the caption, the tares, T-A-R-E-S. Verse 24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat, and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? Now, I'll admit, I don't know the definition of the actual word tares, but it seems to be, from context, unwelcome plants, weeds, sorry, I lost my place. Didst thou not sow good seed in that field? From whence then hath it tares? He said unto them, an enemy hath done this. The servant said unto him, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. That's a very powerful concept. I'm imagining it as what's happening right now in the world. The good fruit, good plants, and the corrupt, the unwelcome are existing side by side. Lest if we were to exterminate everything, we would be exterminating the good and the bad. So go ahead and let the evil grow alongside the good, and then when the time comes, we will pluck all the evil out first, burn it, and then take the good, the wheat, and gather into my barn. And I would say that that barn was the kingdom of heaven. We're speaking about judgment and so on. But make your own interpretations. Use your own prayer and discernment to determine how this reaches you. I'm just a guy reading and relating what I'm gathering from it. Next caption is mustard seed. I'm sure you've heard this one before. Verse 31, another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like to a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field, which indeed is the least of all seeds, but when it is grown, it is the greatest among herbs, and becometh a tree, so that the birds of the air come and lodge in the branches thereof. In other words, and you've heard the mustard seed reference before, that, just from a faith the size of a mustard seed can come a tree bearing good fruit, and for many, for birds, for all the animals, and to expand on the metaphor, but it's a very short part of this chapter. We in a later time examine the mustard seed concept in depth. Next caption is leaven, L-E-A-V-E-N, as in leavened bread or unleavened bread. Verse 33, another parable he spake he unto them. The kingdom of heaven is like unto leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal, till the whole was leavened. Verse 34, all these things spake Jesus unto the multitude in parables, and without a parable spake he not unto them, that it might be fulfilled that which was spoken by the prophet, saying, I will open my mouth in parables, I will utter things which have been kept secret from the foundation of the world. Interestingly enough, next caption is the tares explained. Very good. Then Jesus sent the multitude away, and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. He answered and said unto them, he that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world, the good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil, the enemy that planted the tares in the field. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear. Sounds like I kind of got the right idea. Anyway, I'm not trying to gloat. Verse 44, and this is captioned treasures. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto treasure hid in a field, the which when a man hath found, he hideth, and for joy thereof goeth and selleth all that he hath, and buyeth that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a merchant man seeking goodly pearls, who, when he had found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it. At the time, I'm not going to posit too much opinion of my own interpretation here. Because the next caption is the drag net. Pretty sure they're not talking about the cop show that used to come on. But, sorry about that. Clumsy. And yeah, I am grimacing in pain a little bit. It's the cross I bear. But never mind that. The dragnet, verse 47. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a net that was cast into the sea and gathered of every kind. Verse 48. Which, when it was full, they drew to shore and sat down and gathered the good into vessels, but cast the bad away. So shall it be at the end of the world. The angels shall come forth and sever the wicked from among the just, and shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. He had just said the same thing once in the context of farming, another in the context of fishing. Verse 51, Jesus saith unto them, Have ye understood all these things? And they say unto him, Yea, Lord. Then said he unto them, Therefore every scribe which is instructed unto the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which bringeth forth out of his treasure things new and old. And yes, in Alabama we would have said that is a householder or house owner. Be that as it may. Verse 53, And it came to pass that when Jesus had finished these parables, he departed thence. Caption, the rejection. Verse 54. And when he was come into his own country, he taught them in their synagogue, insomuch that they were astonished and said, Whence hath this man this wisdom and these mighty works? Is not this the carpenter's son? Is not his mother called Mary, and his brethren, James and Joseph and Simon and Judas, and his sisters, are they not all with us? Whence then hath this man all these things? 57. And they were offended in him. But Jesus said unto them, A prophet is not without honor, save in his own country and in his own house. And that's a very famous quote, not often worded that in the same way, but it's hard to be a hero or be honored save in your own country and in your own house. Outsiders looking in struggle to respect and see the honor if you're just a stranger to them, they aren't going to recognize the honor. In verse 58, in closing, And he did not many mighty works there because of their unbelief. And that's Matthew 13. And we'll continue with Matthew 14 on the morrow, I believe, if I may use a little antiquated language myself. But I appreciate you listening and welcome your comments, opinions, whether dissenting or agreeing. Likes, subscribes, all that good stuff. But regardless, God bless you and have a good day.